So it's in the middle of June, and basically the real estate world is asleep. I just closed a couple of deals, but new people are quieter. It's quieter. Here's the following things that we do.
Welcome to the latest episode of We Fixed Real Estate. Today we have Fred Glick on doing a deep dive into summer real estate. The pros and cons of having to buy a house in the summer, or maybe the pros of why you might be considering buying a house in the summer, and also selling a house. Even though it's June and you know that the real estate market heats up in September, now is the right time to consider selling your house and prepping it for market. Fred, enlighten us.
Howdy, everybody. So it's in the middle of June, and basically the real estate world is asleep. I just closed a couple of deals, but new people are quieter. It's quieter because people are involved in graduations, Father's Day, the Masters, the NHL, the NBA playoffs. I'm sure there's something going on in Europe in the art world. It's starting to get nicer. So you kind of take real estate off of your mind. And what we've seen over the years is it just keeps getting worse until you get to second week of September. But August, it's like Paris here. The natives go away, and the tourists come in. But no, it's really quiet. I remember last year we had a listing that didn't sell in the summer, and we did everything that the sellers wanted us to do, and then some, and we all agreed on everything. And we told them it's a bad time, and it didn't work. And they ended up selling it with another agent in the end of September, early October. It's just the way it is. Obviously, it depends on the market. It depends on the situation. But that's kind of a general consensus. But that makes it good, for some sellers who have just the right things. So there's things that still sell. You got to be the right thing to sell. The place has to be nice. The place has to be priced right. It's got to be in the right neighborhood, the right school district, et cetera, et cetera. And there's somebody who'll still buy it. And also investors are always out there. Always out there. I'll get 100 texts a day from investors. So if you need to sell right away, it's easy. By the way, let me interject something. I get these texts and emails from these investors saying, "Hey man, I'll give you the listing if you find me the house of something you have off market." Off market is code word for I can get it cheap because the people are desperate. So, just come out and say it. Somebody's down on their luck, just willing to take a lower price, having no aggravation, no inspections, no nothing kind of deal, and just taking X because there's land value there, and he can make money regardless. I mean, those things happen. People get into binds, but don't just what I tell them is, I'm not going to just send this listing I may have to you because you sent me a text. I get it from a bunch of you guys. So you know what? That's why we put the house on the market. We can get a house on the market that we're not doing anything to, meaning maybe we don't do inspections. We don't do fancy pictures. It's just boom, boom, boom. We get the bare bones on there. We get it on the market right away. And we just going to get a price from people. We're going to get these same wholesalers, and they're all going to be competing against each other. So at least we get the sellers more money. That's really the bottom line. They're looking for off market and on market. So don't be afraid of if you got to get out of a house, boom, do it right away. Just get it done. Don't worry about it. Put it on the market with someone who's a professional. You're going to get more money. You're going to get better guidance. And it makes more sense than selling it to a wholesaler.
if you have to. But if you're considering selling and you have the luxury of waiting um, until the fall when that market is primed, there is some advantages there. But you don't want to wait until September 1st to find a listing agent.
Correct. You want to get it all prepared. Like, for example, to do it right, here's the following things that we do. Number one, we sign a contract. We have a flat fee of 15,750. We don't pre-negotiate who the or what the buyer broker fee is going to be, because that's part of the contract. So you're negotiating against yourself if you offer a percentage or a dollar amount up front. These agents try to push that to be able to excite the other agents to bring their buyers, and it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. So once we get everything under contract, we then begin the due diligence. We pay for all the inspections for the property. We're going to go into the property and with you go over things, make recommendations, or help you get people in to do the work, help arrange getting them in, get it all done. After the inspections, possibly do things that are currently wrong. We get home inspection, termite inspection, sewer video. So we just make sure everything. And then we get once the prettying is done, we clean the place. We'll talk about staging separately. These all take time to get done. And then we get the pictures, and then we can evaluate the market and then go to market. And what I mean by evaluate the market is you're coming on as a fresh new face. You have to see who the competition is that are the other listings. So that's why we price it at the very end, because we don't know what the market's going to be. So that's our process. So it takes a little bit of time. We have to arrange for the stagers or the repair people to get in. So, but you want to be ready second week of September, maybe after that, when it gets, quote unquote, a little colder, but it really has to do with the sun going down sooner. And the more value to the weekends and the more focused you get on these kind of things, and people kind of know the market is there. Interest rates, please listen to me, have nothing to do with it in a general sense in a busy market. Okay. So that brings me to another thing that's driving me crazy. Every loan officer out there now has his own TikTok channel telling you, today the Federal Reserve did this and you should lock in your interest rates because today this happened. Well, what he says is 2 days old. Don't listen. Let me put it this way. Let me save you some time. You don't need to listen to any of this or any recommendations of when to lock in. You know what? Once you're under contract is when you can lock in. So before then, it doesn't matter.
And that's from a buyer's standpoint.
From a buyer's standpoint, don't even bother listening to it, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to drive you crazy. So, and then once you're under contract.
To go back to the sellers, though, before you jump.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping all over the place.
Going back to the sellers, you brought up a really good point a couple podcasts ago, in that when you're hiring a listing agent, really what you're hiring is a project manager. And what you went through is all the steps that it takes from the day that you decide to sell your house to the day you actually put the house on the market, by pricing it at the very end after the repairs are done. And to successfully navigate that is going to ensure being able to sell for the highest price. That's something
100%.
that really you have the luxury of going through summer to get this done versus being forced to do it in like 2 weeks in September.
Agents who you hire because of the price that either you want to sell it for or a number that they throw out that's higher than you thought, and they put it on the contract, but they don't reevaluate it before they put it on the market, is just a measure of, it's going to be a nightmare. I don't even know how to put it. It just doesn't make any sense to do it that way. I mean, believe me, sellers, there are agents out there who will tell you a number that you won't believe. and they'll tell you how easy it is. And they'll tell you about comps that may look lower, but the agents kind of stretch things that seem to make your house better and more desirable. Buyers don't get and look into things that minutia that much. Okay. Hey, the location, I like the view, I like the pictures, like the location, let me go see it. Period. It's that simple. It's raw. So, but it has to make sense price wise. If you're 200,000 above everybody else and not $200,000 in pictures any better,
And it's
you've
and
made a
it's
big
all just not
mistake.
it's not all about the pictures. It's again about this project management. For when you're selling your house, you want to make sure that you have the broker that's there that knows how to navigate the sale when things go sideways, that can project management through a difficult buyer or
True.
through a difficult transaction.
We get into the depth of project managing, and that's why I'm go off on tangents. It's just
Mhm.
sorry guys, my brain's exploding.
Yeah.
Blah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the only way to do things.
Switching over to buyers in the summer, I mean, if you there are many compelling reasons why you may consider buying a house in the summer. Less activity, not quite as many people looking for a house, or you might be relocating and your kids are going to start school in a new city come September or late August, and you need to make that transition.
Here's the beautiful thing. If you're ready with your pay stub, your W-2s, your bank statement, your photo ID, and a contract, we can get things closed in 15 days with no problem. Okay, if you're a prepared buyer, we, I will spout it out again. You get a fully underwritten pre-approval. You're done before you submit an offer. It's just, as I reiterate weekly. Yeah, so you can get in fast, number one. It is, especially in the Bay in San Jose, it's hot as hell.
Mhm.
Okay. And people are just inside or people are outside doing things. They don't want to schlep around and look at houses. So the volume of the people who are down, not as many come to open houses, especially if they have to drive. Neighbors, yeah, they'll always pop in. But it's a time that you might be able to close quick, get a little bit of a price reduction, or get it at a price you wouldn't be able to get it at if it were September, October, November. Okay. So you're
That's in
buying
the
it.
South, baby. I'm gonna push back on San Francisco because the
Sa-
coldest time of the year is gonna be July and August.
Right. It's too damn cold to go out. Everybody's in the bars.
And then come
Yeah,
September, October, it's too damn nice to go out.
exactly. It's
So there's really,
perfect.
if you gotta buy, you just need to buy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, you're doing other stuff. We understand. So it's not just the weather, it's the time, the schools and all that. And you got kids and whatever and things to do, and life gets in the way of buying a house. So it can be done if you need it.
Yes, and I'm looking at some show notes here. I have a note, cryptic thing: the best of times and the worst of times.
Well, that's exactly what we were just talking about, which is the summer market.
There we go. It could be the
I
best of
was
times, and it
just
could be
throwing
the
a
worst
little
of times.
Shakespeare in, excuse me.
I would caution everyone as far as sales that it's always easy to figure out that it's not the right time. I mean, being in sales my whole life, oh, it's Christmas, no one's buying. Oh, it's right before this date, no one's buying. Or oh, let's wait until graduation season is over. If you really drill down to it, there's like 2 weeks in the entire year that you have no excuses.
Something like that. It's about right.
Last week in February, don't buy. No, I'm
Oof,
now I'm sabotaging this show. Sorry, people. Very cynical today.
no problem. Your cynicism is allowed. It's what we do here. We're old guys,
All as I'm
but
saying, yeah, the one compelling thing though is if you are getting ready to sell your house this fall, don't wait to start prepping that for the sale because you may uncover some things that you need to address, and then you have some leeway. And you also have the ability to get your finger on the pulse of the market so that can be repriced or priced right before it goes on sale.
Speaking of going on sale, uh, you know how they say buy near a Starbucks, the value will go up?
Uh huh.
Well, there's kind of a new one. T and T Market. Do you know what T and T is?
I don't. I thought it was a truck stop.
It could be. They're Canada's largest Asian supermarket,
Oh, yeah.
but they opened in California at Westgate Center in San Jose on Thursday,
Uh huh.
packed to the gills.
Really? Is it like
Yes,
a Ranch 99?
better. They
Oh,
say
wow.
it's like a combination of all of them. Take the
Wow.
best of H Mart, 99 Ranch, and Trader Joe's, and you
Hmm.
got TNT. So
Maybe
there
I'll
you
be in
go.
San Diego
And
soon.
we all know how many Asian people are in, especially the South Bay, and wherever I don't even see where they put it, but property value may go up there. So they're gonna have a couple others.
So here's a question from a curious person. So on our street, we're finally getting sidewalks. My house is built in '65, and now we're finally getting sidewalks for pedestrian access. Before the street looked nice and quaint. What is your opinion on what sidewalks will do to the property value?
Two answers to that question. One has to do with just keeping them sidewalks, and the other has to do with trees. If you're going to plant trees and have shade, it adds tremendous amount of value. If you're just going to leave an open sidewalk, doesn't matter. People walk the dogs on it or something. It's especially if you hadn't had them and hadn't had a need for them per se for
Well, we've had a need. It's a busy street, and it's very hard to walk our dogs.
okay, that's a different story. I wasn't familiar. But yeah, taking a bit sidewalks to busy street, yeah, be another reason. It doesn't it's one thing that's better. So it'll stay in people's minds. Oh, yeah, they have sidewalks I can walk the dog. Yeah, they won't even realize new people coming to see the properties there won't even realize that that was an issue
Yeah,
because
you're
there's
right.
sidewalks now.
It's all new to me. They're not in front of our house yet, but it's
Yeah,
coming. I was kind of thinking
yeah,
about on one hand, you get easier access, but on the other hand, you have easier access. So more people from outside your neighborhood are walking around and through it because it's easier to walk through. So maybe a security issue might happen.
maybe, maybe not, and it depends where it's connected to. It sounds like you got to cross a pretty big street. You kind of have to want to walk down that street. I mean, I've never seen a street. I have no idea where he's talking about. So I'm just doing this off the top of my head, people.
No,
Search your
I'm
own streets, but there's some generic ideas for you.
but so I guess our walk score will increase.
Yeah, there you go. So
So if
that'll help
you're ever
value.
interested in houses, the houses on Arriva, I'll have their walk score on there. And that's something you can look up too. If you go to the walkscore.com or something and see
Something
what
like
your
that.
neighborhood's walking score is.
And there's a bike score now.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. Um, and of course, a drive if you need a car or not. So you guys get it. And oh, one other thing that is pretty cool, sort of works. I for years have recommended to people to go on Google Earth instead of Google Maps,
Mhm.
especially if they go on the computer. And now they have a new thing where it can you can basically do a flyover anywhere you kind of sort of want to. Drew kind of played with it.
That was cool. For a public area, it was neat. For
Yeah.
my street, it made up a bunch of houses that don't look like anything our house is.
Yeah, but it's still pretty cool. But it's a great way to just see the neighborhood before you
Mhm.
go there. I get a lot of people say, "Oh, you know what? The house was really nice, but we just didn't like the location." And you know what? You can evaporate that. You don't have to waste your time going to houses if you look on Google Earth and you use something like howloud.com, HOWLOUD.com, howloud.com. Give you an idea of how close it is to noise. It's generic, but It's a good idea. And when that is this thing when something's been on the market a long time or a long-ish time, there is something wrong. And, it was pretty obvious. It's easy to take pretty pictures and just be selective. So, which it's kind of waste of time, I think, when doing a listing. Be honest with people. Tell them the faults. You can tell
Yeah.
them how beautiful it is. Tell them the faults. Because the people if you don't tell them the faults, they're going to come and be disappointed and pissed off.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's going to just say, oh,
You're
if
gonna
if
see it
they
eventually.
exactly. That's why we do the disclosures, the inspections. We do everything up front. Makes life easy. Chill out. Be Californian, people. Chill out, man.
Yeah, that Google Earth, that's a great tip to instead
Yeah,
of just looking at the map, the satellite map on Google Maps, go to Google Earth and you can kind of you can do your little simulated fly through,
that's cool.
but you can also go back and see what the Google Earth looked 5 years ago. So you can see, kind of take a little
Did not see
pulse of
that.
the neighborhood.
There you go. And Tech Talk from
Hmm.
Arriva and Nimbletoad. Yeah, we should. We'll throw tech stuff at you when we find stuff that's cool. I found something stupid today. It's kind of a cool idea. There's an app that's called Riva RIVA videos. I'm not recommending it. What they do is they charge real estate agents $30 a month to put up videos about their properties and with their contact info and everything. Um, and then it's just videos, just like TikTok, of
Uh-huh.
these agents. Here's 123 Main Street, 4 bedroom, 5 bath. It's just awful. It's just absolutely awful. Then I thought of letting everybody put up a video or a picture of a house, and let's do it like dating, like voting yes or no. But the problem is everybody's got different tastes.
Do
It's
your own
just so
house Tinder.
House Tinder, yeah, just
It's
for the fun
definitely
of
an
it.
idea.
And when you get access back to, what's that program?
Fable.
Yeah, we can do it on there and vibe code it in 5 minutes.
We'll at least try. It'll probably
Yeah,
think for
just
5
add it
minutes.
to the list. All right, kids, that's enough. We've
That's enough.
annoyed you enough.
It's been a latest episode of We Fixed Real Estate. Stay tuned for some upcoming episodes, a little sneak peek. We've got a series of really special guests slated to be on the show.